All right, well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Baseball Replay Journal. We've got the Cubs of the Cardinals here for you. 1949, still April 24th, 1949. Cardinals having a pretty good season of it so far. 3-1. It's been a real quiet 3-1. And the Cubs, well, if you've been watching here, you know how bad the Cubs have been. Andy Pafko with a little ground ball at second base. It's one out. And here comes Hal Jeffcoat up, the second hitter for the Cubs. Jeffcoat not even close to the Mendoza line. And boy, it's going to be that kind of season, isn't it? He gets into one to center field, and that doesn't really go very far. And that's two away. And then there's a ground ball by Peanuts Lowry. 1-2-3 go the Cubs. And here come the Cardinals. Enos Slaughter coming up first, and he takes two quick balls. Little ground ball to first base, and that's the first out of the inning. Up comes Eddie Kazak now. Kazak takes a ball. And now a strike in the outside corner. Doyle Lade, the starting pitcher for Chicago. 2-1 now. The pitch comes into Kazak, and now it's 2-2. Doyle Lade was sort of my choice as I was looking at the bullpen trying to figure out who in the world they can start, as Kazak also grounds one to the first base side. And there's two away now, and here comes Stan Musial. 2-1 count now on Musial. 3-1 now the count on him. And a little fly ball to right field, and that does it there. No score in the early going, and here's Cavaretta. And Cavaretta gets a little ground ball again to first base, and that is one away. And excuse me for a quick second as I make sure that I've got all of my peripherals set up here. It's pretty nice, somewhat cold afternoon here, late morning that I'm filming this, and I just realized I was going along that I don't have everything set up just exactly right, which isn't really a problem for you, but could be a problem for me if we have something interesting happen here. So we'll make sure that we have all of our folders and everything set up just the way that we want it. And there we go. And now on goes with the game. Gene Mauch up now, 2-0 count on Mauch. 3-0 now is Red Munger about to walk him. 3-1 now. He gets away with that strike. Little ground ball to second base, and they get Mauch at first. Two away now. Frankie Gustine, the next batter for the Cubs. 0-1 on him. And that's popped up to Schoendienst for the third out. I decided to start Mauch today. Figured that there was no harm in doing so. I mean, every baseball fan knows Gene Mauch as Jones hits one out to right field, one away. Here's Chuck Deering. And, the Cubs are so bad so far this season that you might as well start anybody. Mauch gets that good play there after the ground ball to second base. There's two away, and here's Red Schoendienst takes the ball, hits that one off his foot, 1-1. And there's a biting slider strike in there, 1-2. 2-2 now as Schoendienst took that ball. Fouls one back, and he gets a little base hit through the right side, and it's the first hit of the ball game. And up next, Marty Marion. Checking Schoendienst, we're not going to do anything with him. We'll just see what happens. 1-2 now, the pitch comes to him. And there's a drive into the gap in left field, and Schoendienst makes it to third base. Told you we didn't need to run with him. And here's Joe Garagiola himself. Boy, it would have been interesting to watch Joe Garagiola play live. Those of us who remember watching him as an announcer as a strike comes into him, and now 1-1 the count on him. 1-1 pitch to Garagiola. He just gets a piece of that one, 1-2. And there's a ball that gets by the catcher, 2-2 now. Garagiola with a ground ball that goes right over the bag of third base, and we're gonna send Marion as well and see if they can get him. And Marion, unfortunately for Garagiola, is thrown out of the plate. Garagiola gets the base hit. He gets one RBI, and that is all. And with that, it is a 1-0 ball game early on. Now, for that to be meaningful, of course, the Cubs have to actually score some runs. And we'll see if they're actually able to do so or not. In general, so far this season in 1949, the Cubs have not been able to score runs, and they've been very, very generous with giving them up. Bob Sheffing hits a fly ball over to Stan Musial, 1 away. Roy Smalley, also first ball swinging, hits one to left, 2 away. And Doyle Lade now takes the ball. Another ball, 2-0 now the count on him, 2-1 now. 2-2 now the count on him. Doyle Lade, another player I know absolutely nothing about, and he manages to get on with a walk, the first walk given up by Munger in the game. There are a lot of these players that would be very, very interesting to learn more about as we go through 1949 slowly. We don't want to do this quickly as Pafko is thrown out on that ground ball to second base. We don't want to do this quickly. We want to get to know guys. We want to make this a replay that lasts, one that's going to be quite memorable, one that people will want to look at maybe, or maybe we'll want to look at ourselves later on in the future. Munger grounds one out to Roy Smalley at short, and that's one away. Enos Slaughter back up now. And he gets a long base hit to right field, fourth hit of the day for the Cardinals, who have all the offense. So we're going to run with Slaughter. And they could see us doing it, and they get Slaughter on the pickoff play at first base. I think the computer's on to me. I've been doing that a lot, and I've been thrown out a lot. Maybe I should stop doing it, huh? No. We'll just keep going as this little pop fly to right field, and that ends that inning. Hal Jeffcoat now. No hit so far for the Cubs. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but interesting to note. 3-0 now the pitch to Hal Jeffcoat, and he takes ball 4 all the way. Red Munger giving up that walk. Peanuts Lowry now, and 0-1 the pitch on him. And there's Jeffcoat running for second base, and he's thrown out too. See, you don't want to try to steal too much. We hit Peanuts Lowry. Munger hits Lowry as he's laughing as he throws that breaking ball, as he's laughing with me. And the irony of it. And there's the first base for the Cubs as Cavaretta gets a base hit that just sort of finds its way, sneaks its way through the inside. And here comes Gene Mauch. Time for Gene to be a hero here in this early season. 1-0 is the score for the Cardinals. 1-1 now the count on Mauch. And 2-1 is the count on him. 1-0 Cardinals with 2 men on, 1 man out. And I think we'll try this play at the plate. Let's see what happens. And now Lowry gets in under the tag. The game is tied 1-1. Hey, Gene Mauch drives in a run. He doesn't hit the ball out of the infield, but he does the job. And just like that, it's a brand new ball game. How about that? Not too bad at all for a Sunday afternoon here at Old Sportsman's Park. And let's see here. There we go. I'm sort of losing a little bit of my flow today. Not quite have the same flow as I did yesterday, but it'll come. It'll come as we move along. Frankie Gustine up now, and he takes a strike. And there's one below the knees, 1-1 on Gustine, and another one outside, 2-1 on him. Little ground ball to third base, and they get the double play. Third to second, second to first, and here we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. Stan Musial leading off, 1-1 now the count on him. Hits one to right field, right to Jeffcoat, and Musial having a good year, or good season so far here in late April, but early season. Jones is perhaps was about to walk, but swung on the 3-0 pitch and popped that one up to the third baseman. You can't say much as Deering grounds out to Mauch at second. You can't say too much about how a batter's doing here on just the very first few games of the season, but you do pay some attention. You do want to look, and you like seeing it when guys like Musial are up above 300. That's kind of what the replayers in us really like to see. You have to remember that most of us replayers, we don't get past April. Little ground ball to Kazak at third, no problem, and 1 away. And if you can get your replay to the end of May, you're probably going to finish it. That's the thing. That's sort of the, I guess, the litmus test of it, right? Here's a late up here with 2 outs now. If you can't get your replay back, if you can't get up to the beginning of May, you're kind of there with the rest of us. I can't tell you how many projects I have had that haven't gone that far. That's the third out there for the Cubs, and here's Red Schoendienst. He gets a little ground ball to Roy Smalley at short and winds up as the runner on first base. Just like that, and the Cardinals have something going on. It's the bottom of the fifth inning, but starting to get a little bit late. Marty Marion's hitting .438 this season, but I'm trying to decide whether I want to bunt with him or hit and run. Let's try a hit and run and see what happens. Now, we know what happened last time. This time, Marion does get the ground ball to second base. Moves Red Schoendienst over to second, which is exactly what we wanted to have happen. Here comes Joe Garagiola now, and let's see if his bat is as good as his mouth. 0-1 on Garagiola, 1-1 now the pitch on him, and he hits a little one out there to right field, and Jeffcoat comes over and makes an incredible catch, and that is the second out of the inning. The pitcher up now, Red Munger, a 2-0 pitch on him. Munger falls out of the way of that one. That's called a strike, a curveball, and this is where you know that you're probably not in this game for your bat. If you're bailing out in a curveball like that, you thought your life is over, and then it ends up being called a strike. That's a pretty good little bit of play-by-play. We love looking up those little bits of play-by-play that otherwise might move past us. That was a good one. A little ground ball to a shortstop. Roy Smalley gets him. Here we go to the top of the sixth inning. Tense game, 1-1 game. Pafko now, 0-2 on Pafko. Pops that one up foul, and there's a little one. Another one popped up this time also in foul territory, but Nippy Jones gets it for the first out. Al Jeffcoat now. Jeffcoat not having much of a year for the Cubs. Nobody's having a year for the Cubs. A little foul or a little fair ball actually to Marion at short, and that's 2 away. Pinez Lowry, I mean, just an awful, awful average. Everything looks bad for him so far this season. I don't know what's happening to the Cubs. They can't get the rolls. 1-2 now. The pitch on Lowry. He does not swing on that one, so 2-2 now, and now it's a full count. And Red Munger lost him. 3rd walk of the game for Munger. No strikeouts, 3 walks. So not a very good performance so far for Munger. 2-0 now the pitch, and 3-0 now in Cavaretta. I'm not going to have to take him out, am I? 2 walks in a row, 4 straight balls thrown by Munger. I'm a little bit worried. We're not even close to his pitch limit, and this isn't a guy who has poor stamina. He just can't seem to find the plate. Throws a wild pitch now, and this is kind of an important part of this game. We have 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning, and Munger just simply cannot find the plate. Let's see here. We are in the top of the 6th inning. So the reason why I say that to myself here is because I'm trying to label these files I'm taking screenshots of for later write-ups so that I know what belongs to what. Gene Mauch hits a fly ball to left field. Munger gets out of the jam, and that does that. But I'm a little bit worried here about how much more this guy has in him. I mean, that wasn't very good. That's not what we want to see. We don't want to see a whole bunch of bases on balls like that. We want to see our guys walk. Slaughter here with a 3-1 pitch on him. 3-2 now. And he hits a deep foul ball to right field. And he does get the walk in the end. And now Kozak is up, and this is one of those moments again. I know that Kozak is hitting well so far, but we're going to bunt with him anyway. And it looks like that's what the defense is looking for, because we need to get a run in and not have so many major batting heroics. We're fine with just moving Slaughter over. They walk Musial intentionally, which I'm not too surprised about. Nippy Jones now. Ball 1 comes into Jones, and he swings and misses. 1-1 now the pitch on him, and 2-1 now. He takes another one wide. 2-2 now as he took that changeup. Not sure what he was looking for. Fouls one off. Fouls another one off. And gets the base hit. And let's see. We got 1 out. We're going to send both of these runners. Let's see what happens. Jones will stay at first. And Slaughter's thrown out of the plate. My goodness. My goodness. We're having one of those games again. This seems to happen every once in a while. You get one of these games. Where you think that the game's just about to be broken open, and the guy's thrown out of the plate. 2 outs now. Runners on first and third. It's a good thing that we sent Musial. Kind of surprised though that they were able to get him at the end. It was a good throw, I suppose, by. Who was that there? Pafko, I guess. Jeffcoat threw that straight to Sheffing, who made the tag. Deering now 1-0 the count on him, 1-1 now. And boy, I thought the Cardinals were going to run away with this one, and it hasn't been like that at all. That's what happens with these big rivalry games, isn't it? And Deering just hits one sharply to short, and that's it. Only 1 hit so far for the Cubs today, but 1-1 ball game. Doesn't matter how many hits you get. What matters are those runs that you get over the plate. 2-1 now the pitch on Gustin here in the top of the 7th inning, and he grounds one over to Marion at short, 1 away. Bob Sheffing now comes up, and he gets a single straight up there to right field. This is the thing, was as soon as I say that they've only had 1 hit, and they get another one here. Smalley now runner at first base, 1-1 the count now on Roy Smalley. And there's one down in the dirt. Garagiola makes the block. Ball 3 now. And Munger misses him. And I was about to say that he's going to struggle here. And he did. 5 walks for Munger. I can't go with him any further. We're going to lose this game. So we're going to look here at the bullpen and see who we've got. We're going to go here with Ted Wilkes. Ted Wilkes pitched a couple days ago for the Cardinals. And we're going to put him in and see if he can get a double play, get out of this. That ball's bunted to third. We go to third base with the throw. So that was Kozak making that play, throwing to Marion here in a pretty tense moment of this game. And he makes the play by inches. What a play, and what a risk to take. 2 outs now, runners on first and second, as opposed to 2 outs with runners on second and third. But man, if he's just a little bit off with that throw, then we really have a problem. I don't know how much I endorse throwing to third base on that play, and that's that rotation play, right, where the shortstop Marion's got to go over and cover the bag in time. Boy, what a risky play. Pafko now, 1-1 the pitch on him. And a little ground ball over the middle. Marion grabs it, throws it over to Schoendienst, and does not get him. Not in time, and the Cubs have the bases loaded now with with 2 outs rather in the top of the 7th inning. And man, oh man, this game is a lot more exciting than I thought it was going to be. We'll see what happens with Jeffcoat coming up here. Goodness gracious, the Cubs continue to threaten here in the top of the 7th inning, and St. Louis can't seem to get anyone out. 1-1 now. The pitch line to left field for base hit, and that scores 1, and they inch around. They move up 1 space on the board at a time, and now we have a 2-1 ball game with Chicago in the lead. Peanuts Lowry up, and you wonder where the Chicago Bats have been all season. It looks like they're finally coming out of of hibernation, of cold storage. Here we go. Peanuts Lowry now up, and he hits one over to Musial in right center field for the final out of the inning. First pitch swinging, and Lowry probably wants to take that one back. Schoendienst up now, and he takes a strike, and then a ball. 1-1 now the count on him, and now it's 2-1. 3-1 now as Lade's slider is too high. A little ground ball to third base, and that does it for him. Marty Marion up next. Takes a strike, and it's a foul ball. 0-2 now the count on him. Another foul. And takes that one ankle high for a ball, and then gets a hard single up there right past Gustine for a base hit. And here's Joe Garagiola again. Marion 2 for 3 now, and we've had a couple of these situations with Garagiola where we're looking around and wondering what to do. We're going to bunt with him, and we're going to pinch hit for the pitcher. Good bunt by Garagiola, moves Marion up to second, and let's see who we put in. Galviano is going to pinch hit here for the pitcher. 2-1 ball game, Galviano, and he hits a little ground ball to second base, nothing doing, and that is the end of that half inning. Now, I'm thinking to myself about the starting pitchers because I'm looking at Staley, wondering if I should put him in or not. Staley started only 17 games in real life for the Cardinals, so I think we're safe putting him in. It's hard to know because when you're not playing with the real life lineups, as I'm not, you have to sort of guess as to what you're going to want to do in the future. Am I going to be upset with myself for using him now? Cavaretta now with a 1-2 pitch on him, 2-2 now. The other problem you have is that if Jerry comes in and doesn't get anybody out, what are we going to do? Little fly ball to Musial, 1 away. Out comes Gene Mock, and he watches the ball, 1-0, 2-0 now in Mock. And he hits another fly ball over there to center field, 2 out now. Here comes Gustine. 1-0 pitch to him, the screwball for a strike. Staley now misses with what says a knuckleball. Ground ball, wow, to Marion. Makes the play at first base. Looks like that was another good play by him. I was about to say with that knuckleball, I do have actually an electronic copy of the old James Nair Guide to Pitchers. For a little while when I was playing this, before I started up this blog and this project, I would actually look up and try to make sure that the game was calling the pitches correctly. Isn't it amazing that you can look that up? But with these guides, you can see the pitches that almost every pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball threw and test and see if the game gets it right or not. 2-1 now the pitch to Slaughter, a little pop fly, and that manages to get out of play, lucky for him. Pops up another one, little one to Smalley, and there's one away. Boy, St. Louis needs to start hitting if they're going to do something. And there is a double by Kazak who manages to elude the tag. Man, oh man, that's a clutch play by him. And we'll see if that has any sort of repercussions here. Bottom of the 8th inning, Cubs up 2-1. Kazak with 1 out gets that double, and we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure that they're going to walk Musial again. Yep, they walk Stan Musial again intentionally, and they'll deal with Nippy Jones instead. We're just going to swing away and kind of go for it and see what happens. There's no reason to do anything fancy. Jones, a little pop fly to center field, doing nothing. 2 away now. Out comes Chuck Deering, and he hits a little ground ball, and that does it. And so the strategy works for the Cubs. They're out of the inning, top of the 9th. And, man, Sheffing hits that one deep to Deering, who manages to catch it up in center field, one away. 1-1 now. The pitch comes into Roy Smalley. And, boy, that one goes straight under the glove of, who was that? Under the glove of Jones at first base for an error. And we have to be careful here if we're going to come back in this game. Lade now lays down a beauty of a bunt. Boy, I tell you, Lade was, like I said, a pitcher I knew nothing about. And he's come in and he's thrown very, very well for the Cubs. 7 hits he scattered, giving up only 1 run. And Pafko now grounds out to second base, and that does that. Up comes Red Schoendienst for the Cardinals here now in the top of the 9th inning, and this is an exciting game. Schoendienst takes a strike, and that's fastball's high and tight, 1-1. Fouls one off, 1-2. Fouls another one off, and that one's over foul on the first base line. Cavaretta not able to get to it, and chase that one high. Another foul. Takes a ball, 2-2 now the pitch on him, and foul ball there at the plate. Lade, is he running out of gas? Takes the breaking ball low to Schoendienst, full count. He chops another one off of his foot. Boy, it's one of those tense moments, isn't it? Another little foul. Another foul, this one off the catcher. Another foul, a little bit ridiculous of an at-bat now. And bounces that one over to Mock at second base, 1 away. Here's Marty Marion now. 2 for 3 in the ball game, 4 for 8 in the series, hitting very, very well lately. Pops another one up, and that one luckily is foul. 0-2, now 1-2 after the ball. And hits one into the gap there in right field, but Jeffcoat's there to run it down, and Garagiola is your last chance. And is this really the guy you want up as your last chance? 2-1 the score, 0-2 now the count on Garagiola. And he smacks one to right center field and gets a double, a second double of the ball game, second hit of the year. And, hey, that wasn't too bad at all, was it? So just like that, we have the pitcher due up, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning, Cubs 2, Cardinals 1. And a game that I thought was going to be a mere formality has turned out to be quite exciting. And we're going to go straight to the bench. We're going to get a pinch hitter for Staley, who pitched very, very well in relief, facing a right-handed pitcher, so we'll take any advantage we can get. I wonder if Solly Hemos is the guy to go with. Are you going to let me see more? Very, very low sample size, I'll say that, but we'll go with him. Remember, the rules that we play by is that we always play to win. Whenever when we set up our lineups, we play to win, and when we set up or when we make decisions in the game itself, we play to win. So Hemos comes up, 1-0 the pitch to him, 2-0 now the pitch. There's a little ground ball to Smalley at short, and he loses it in his glove, and they're going to call that a base hit instead of an error. And there's no throw to first base at all, and, man, that was a very, very key moment of this game. And here comes Enos Slaughter with the ability to end it right here, end it one way or another. Slaughter gets on base now. If he walks, that's not going to end it, of course. But if Slaughter gets anything approaching a base hit, this game at the very least will be tied with Garagiola now at third base. And if Slaughter's out, of course, and the game's over. Here's your ball game. Enos Slaughter comes up, 1 for 4 so far. Lade trying to catch Hemos off first. We're not running. We're not doing anything like that here. Swing and a miss for Slaughter. 0-1 to pitch on him. 0-2 now as he fouls one off. 1-2 now the pitch to Slaughter. 2-2 now. Lade misses high. Lade 3 walks in the game. No strikeouts. And Slaughter hits one out to Andy Pafko in right field, who traces it down. Well hit by Slaughter, but not good enough. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That is the first win of the season for the Chicago Cubs. Can you believe that? Well, I certainly hope that you enjoyed that. That was a fun game. That was a lot of fun, believe me. The Cubs had no offense and managed to win one against their rival, the Cardinals. And if you enjoyed that, hit the like button down below, subscribe. We have another video for you tomorrow, just like we had one yesterday. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.